The morning everything collapsed felt ordinary in every possible way. Sarah, my wife, pressed a goodbye kiss to my lips before leaving. It lingered longer than usual, and as she pulled away, she smiled and said, "I'll love you always." She had said those words countless times over the years. They were the promise my life was built on. We had shared 8 years of marriage, what most people would call ideal. A warm home, shared plans, and a future we were carefully shaping together. There was nothing in her voice, nothing in her eyes that gave me a reason to question her sincerity. I had no idea that the stability I trusted was about to vanish. That night, work kept me late. I was focused on finishing a deadline when my phone vibrated. I assumed it would be Sarah checking in, asking when I'd be home. Instead, it was an email alert. The subject line contained only my name. Curious and uneasy, I opened it. The message came from an unknown sender and included just one attachment, or photograph. My chest tightened instantly. In the image, Sarah was sitting close to another man, her arm resting comfortably around him. They were smiling, leaning toward each other in a way that felt unmistakably intimate. The setting was a restaurant I didn't recognize. My mind rejected it at first. This couldn't be real. It had to be a joke or some kind of manipulation, but every small detail erased that hope. Her hairstyle, the tiny beauty mark above her lip, the silver necklace I had given her on our first anniversary. There was no denying it. The woman in that photo was my wife. A chill spread through me as I noticed a short line beneath the image. "You deserve to know what's really happening." My hands trembled as I tried to call Sarah. Once, twice, every attempt went straight to voicemail. I shut down my computer, gathered my things, and left work immediately. The drive home felt unreal. Streets I'd traveled for years suddenly felt unfamiliar. When I reached our house, it didn't feel like home anymore. It felt like someone else's place. I sat alone in the dark, the glow of my laptop illuminating the room as the photos stared back at me. I waited. When Sarah finally walked through the door, she was softly humming, clearly in a good mood. The moment she saw my expression, her smile disappeared. "What's going on?" she asked, sounding genuinely puzzled, an innocence that cut deeper than anger. I couldn't bring myself to say a word. I simply turned the laptop so she could see. All the color drained from her face. The room fell silent, thick and suffocating, interrupted only by my uneven breathing. Her first reaction was denial, weak and unconvincing. Then came the tears. The excuses followed quickly, tumbling over one another. His name was Mark, a co-worker. She claimed it began harmlessly, conversations, shared frustrations, someone who listened. Just friendship, she said. But the image in front of us told a far different story. That wasn't friendship. That was something carefully hidden. She insisted it was a mistake, a lapse in judgment. She said I was the one she loved, that I was the only one who mattered. But the words rang hollow. "I'll love you always," echoed in my mind, no longer comforting but cruel. Memories that once brought warmth now felt poisoned. Every affectionate phrase we'd shared became suspect. She admitted it had lasted 6 months. 6 months of secrecy, private messages, moments stolen while I believed we were building a future together. While I invested in us, she was nurturing a second life with someone else. The trust that held our marriage together didn't crack. It completely collapsed. Looking at her felt like looking at a stranger wearing the face of someone I used to know. The days after were filled with confusion and agony. We attempted therapy. We talked endlessly. But once trust is gone, words lose their power. That photograph, replayed in my mind constantly. Her touch made me recoil. When she said she loved me, all I heard was deception. What once brought comfort now caused pain. The truth didn't just damage our relationship, it ended it. I eventually understood that love without trust is nothing more than an empty structure. Healing took time, and it wasn't easy. Friends helped me stand back up when I felt completely broken. Letting go was the hardest part, but it was necessary if I wanted peace. Some lessons hurt more than others. One of the hardest is realizing that forever doesn't always mean what we think it does. Thank you for taking the time to hear my story. If you've faced something similar, know this: you're not alone. And if this story resonated with you, don't forget to like and subscribe for more real-life experiences. Until next time,